Kohlvogel here, and today I am going to be taking a special guest out, and we are going to try some traditional cultural food. Let's go. After a 3-year delay, my new friend Lawrence finally came back to Taiwan for a visit. He was very excited to try some local street foods and tell me about his Taiwan experiences. I do this with my friends all the time.
We call this meta photography.
Yes,
photographers
brother.
take photos of people taking photos.
Photos of people taking photos. So here is my special guest, and can you say your full name?
It's Laurens van Rooyen.
Okay, and then in English?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
And we've been communicating for quite some time via texting,
Yeah.
but this is the first time we've met up, but I feel like I know you already.
There was just this chance that I happened to stay 3 days in Kaohsiung, and it was like, who is in Kaohsiung as well? Well,
And you're
who
like-
else but Cole?
Kohlvogel.
Right.
Did you discover my channel while where? Where were you? In Switzerland or?
In Switzerland, during the pandemic, I got to watch a lot of vloggers from Taiwan just to get rid of my homesickness for Taiwan because I couldn't get here for 3 years.
So this is your first time back in Taiwan in 3 years?
Since October 2019. I left in October 2019 thinking like, see you back in March. And then bloody COVID came and everything changed.
Bloody hell. Well, here we are back to some kind of, I don't want to say normal, because what does that mean anymore?
We just have these strange little things here. These masks.
Yes.
That's what it is.
But I think that's coming to an end soon as well.
Well, actually in Switzerland it all ended like April 1st. They just ended all measures on April 1st, and that pretty much was the pandemic done in Switzerland for the mindset of people.
And do they encourage people to exercise and eat healthy and things like that?
Not really. I spent more time outdoors during the pandemic than before.
Likewise, I was doing hiking and cycling and all kinds of stuff.
I moved my home office out to the riverside and stuff like that in Switzerland.
Oh, cool.
Because I was like, my apartment is too small. I can't stay in here all day. I get claustrophobic, so let's just get out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to Pier 2 before?
I have been here before a couple of times. This is my favorite part of Kaohsiung.
Okay, are you familiar with this bridge right here?
This bridge is new. I just walked it today for the first time ever.
And you know that it rotates.
I know. And in Holland we have a lot of bridges like this.
Today we are going to be doing a 小吃, which is basically a small meal. It's a very popular concept in Taiwan where you just kind of go around to different spots. You enjoy small meals from like little street vendors or little side restaurants, and I think it's fun to do the 小吃so that we can just enjoy a bunch of little meals instead of one big meal and really get a taste of Kaohsiung. But as we were on our way to our first place, please tell me what you were telling me about your family, because we have some lighthouses here.
My grandfather happened to be a guardsman at a lighthouse on the coast of the southern Netherlands.
That is cool.
That is part of our family history, and that's why we always had photos of lighthouses in our house, in the parents' house. So when I saw all these light towers here, I was like, holy shit, this is nice. A nice coincidence. Sadly, my father died in February of 2018, and we took some of the ashes of his to Holland and we spread it at that very light tower. It was a red and white striped one, and there is a red and white striped one coming our way shortly.
Every time you see this kind of a lighthouse, you can have a memory of your dad, right?
Yes.
Hey, ni hao. All right, we have made it to our first spot, 大肠包饺汤. Wow, that's a big mouthful to swallow of words. It's a sausage and a sticky rice. Have you had this before?
Not really, because the Taiwanese sausages tend to be sweet in the flavoring, and I prefer them to be salty.
Okay, so I want you to be honest, no matter how you feel. I like this myself, but we'll find out how you feel about it.
We'll see.
Okay.
There's some sweetness of the sausage, but it's nicely overtoned. The spice and the garlic helps cut out the sweet. That's good.
After many years of living in Taiwan, I've grown very accustomed to sweet sausages. And I love the sausage and the rice together. Delicious. One of my favorite pastimes.
Bye-bye.
Our next stop, Wonton Heaven. Our second place on this Xiaoche adventure is a place called Heichan. Oh, 谢谢你. It's called Heichan, and we are here today to try fried wonton and wonton soup.
Yep. And wonton, of course, is staple food in all Chinese restaurants. We had this in the early 90s in Vienna in a Chinese restaurant already. Wonton soup, we would always order that.
That sounds like the title of the movie, the early 90s in Vienna.
Yeah, a bit of spice is always good. Not too much, otherwise you feel it later as well.
This is true.
It's good.
Not
a really one-bite wonton. It's good. Let's go for the authentic one.
Ooh, it's got a nice crunch to it.
The mixture of crunchy on the outside and soft and flavory on the inside is nice.
Yeah, that looks nice. Oh yeah, and you're right, these are giant wontons. Look at this, this is nuts.
Not a one bite, it is a one bite. Okay, for people with a big mouth, it's a one bite.
I've been told a few times that I have a big mouth. I'm actually gonna have a second one. That was so good.
Dip it.
Deep fried wonton. Wow. Oh man. The deep fried wonton is so good.
How cheap the food is here, actually.
Right, and Xiaoche, like going around and having small bites of food around the city, is the cheapest way, and you're getting a little bit of flavor from a lot of places.
Yep.
What brought you to Taiwan, and what year was that when you first came to Taiwan?
First time in Taiwan was in December 2008. On invitation of the Foreign Trade Commission of Taiwan, TAITRA, and we were like 6 journalists being shuttled from one factory to the other for 3 days.
Have you always been a cycling journalist?
I've always been a cyclist, and I got into journalism like 2000-ish. I already worked as a journalist for a local newspaper, but that was just general nonsense and not about cycling. I've been here at least 25 times, maybe 30 times. And we had a very funny first experience with the Taiwanese culture known as KTV.
Yes.
An English photographer, a young Australian lad and me, 3 younger guys, went for a walk through Taichung. We didn't know the city. And there was one KTV with crazy lighting and a weaselly guy in a suit with a ponytail came running to us. He gave us his business card and he told us, you want drugs, you want gambling, you want come to KTV.
Wow.
And it was so funny, like the pimps and the drug dealers have business cards in Taiwan. Holy shit.
It's like, I'll set you up. What do you need? What are you looking for?
They have an English menu, and it's not just duck. You can also go for the very classic braised pork rice. And for the guys who really want to go hard, duck heart, liver, gizzard, and the intestines.
Let's go for it. Are you ready?
Not really.
Have you ever had duck rice?
I've had duck at a couple of occasions, but it was more like a Beijing duck.
Oh, okay.
place.
So this is very traditional Taiwanese style, I believe. All right, give it a shot. Tastes like chicken?
No, tastes better than chicken. Also a bit more taste.
What do you think of the kung ro, the pork fat? That's one of my favorite things.
Oh yeah, that just melts in your mouth.
Right? It's like literally melts like butter.
You don't have to bite it.
The only other time I tried this actually was in Jai. So let's try Kaohsiung duck rice.
Down south.
Oh, lovely. We have duck heart, duck intestine, duck gizzard, and duck liver. I am certain that that is duck heart. It has a very chewy texture. It doesn't taste like something that I would normally eat. It's definitely intestine. It's very chewy, almost like bubble gum. Terrible description to compare it to. All right, and then I believe this is going to be the liver right here. Or is that the heart? This is the hardest one of all of them. Let's try, there, that's gonna be the liver. Yeah.
And that should be very soft.
Okay, so what I'm gonna say is the liver is my favorite, and it's the most tender and easy to chew on. I love the fact that in Taiwan they eat every part of the animal, so it's not being wasted. You give the liver a try.
So on a scale from -10 to -1, I think the liver is the least bad and
the most common.
Strange, the most common you could eat. And I've had goose liver in French restaurants and in Spanish restaurants too. So
yeah,
the liver's okay.
it's palatable, right?
And there's some nice flavors on it. They have spiced it well. It's good.
Hey, 老板，谢谢你，谢谢你，拜拜，拜拜。Wow, this is Henmeng. So, 这是谁？
妈妈，
啊哈，
这是我爸爸，
爸爸。啊，你的妈妈，爸爸。
那个是我阿嬷，
你的阿妈。
是。
Oh, so cool. 谢谢。So family business. So I'm at the Po Po Bean. This is our final stop. I thought we should have something sweet and delicious for Lawrence to try. All right, so what do we have here, brother, that you have not had in a while that you wanted to have some?
Well, it's sliced pineapple, and the thing in Switzerland is pineapple is mostly coming out of a can and it's sour. And pineapple in Taiwan is sweet.
It's one of my favorite things in Taiwan, actually. So sweet or sour?
85% sweet, 15% sour.
Nice.
The way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, agreed. A little plum powder in there, just for some flavor. And now we have this 8 different variety of chua bean. I mean, look at this. This is beautiful looking. I mean, gorgeous. All right, why don't you give that a try?
So.
Does it bring back memories? Like, is that something you would have had when you first came here?
But yeah, it brings back memories. Very sweet, and there is some chewy parts in it as well. I guess mochi-like.
Yeah, mochi-like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got some brown sugar in there. This is one of my favorite pastimes, usually in the summer, but we've been walking around, warming our bodies up from walking, so. This beats ice cream any day, in my opinion. I know we just met in person for the first time, but I feel like I already know you. And I think we're both into cycling and staying healthy, but also enjoying food when we feel like it. So
it's the healthy balance, eh?
It's the healthy balance. I like it.
thing that my work is done and your work is just starting with the editing and the regular job.
And yeah, I know, to be a part-time YouTuber and a part-time teacher, to working hard and playing hard.
Yeah.
Your friend said something to you about you being some kind of a Taiwan ambassador. Can you explain that to me?
Well, there's some journalists, business journalists in the bicycle industry who are kind of pro-producing in Europe. There is some pro-producing in China, and I'm very much pro-producing in Taiwan. And because of that, the Trade Commission of Taiwan invited me as a keynote speaker to London.
Cool.
That was in February 2019, just to talk about the importance of Taiwan for the global bicycle industry.
And just how important is Taiwan to the global bike industry?
Well, it is one of the most crucial cogs in this whole machinery, because even if the factories are in China or in Vietnam, many of them are owned by Taiwanese. And if it's about the upper price levels, about the most innovative bikes, it's mostly Taiwan involved. So,
Taiwan. All right. Well, with that said, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.